Bam. That works. You know, it would actually help if I had the if I had the mixer on. All right, we should be good to go now. All right, let's try that again. All right, so let me close this out and let me open this back up. I know it's been a long week. Anytime I forget to turn on the daggone mixer, Lord have mercy. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see what we got here. No. Okay, correct. There we go. Okay, there we go. I know it's been a long ass day when I forget to freaking turn on the damn mixer. Lord have mercy. All right, we should be good to go now. All right, what's good, y'all? What's good? We're gonna start in about 75 seconds. All right, let's see here. Ooh, Lordy. I'm not sleepy. I'm just physically tired. Got some blood work done earlier. And so I'm kind of feeling a little bit fatigued from that. I did that right after work. So I'm a little bit. I did have a bite to eat, though. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to slap this on and I'm just going to worry about it in post-production here. Okay. All right. Looks like the Facebook thing has been resolved, so that's good from last night. Because if you were checking out Monday's show, I told you guys we weren't able to connect to Facebook. There was a workaround, but I didn't even bother with it, so. Okay, that looks good. All right, we're good. We can go ahead and officially start the show, y'all. All right, so we're pretty much good to go. Let's get rocking and rolling here. Audio check, 1, 2, 3. Audio check, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's good. All right, countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What's going on, good kind of people? You are checking out an all-new The RCWR Show, covering the latest in all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. Here we are for October 5th, 2021, Tuesday night. Can only mean one thing, NWA Powerrr! We are talking about this week's episode where we experienced the ultimate betrayal. But... And this is a question that we have to ask ourselves, NWA fans. Was it all we were hoping it would be, and then some? Or was there a little bit of disappointment? I think we definitely need to be very honest with ourselves here when talking about that. Look, when I think about this episode overall, I'll be honest, so-so episode. Not every episode can be good, excellent, superb, brilliant, marvelous, and all the other colorful adjectives and variations of cool that you can think of. Look, this was a so-so episode. Wasn't bad. Wasn't a very strong episode. But as far as looking at certain story arcs that came about from this episode, yeah, you could definitely look at some of those things and say, okay, well, this was kind of positive, but this one kind of looked a little bit, what's going on right here? And I think it's kind of amazing the fallout that we got from this episode, particularly with one story arc, because this is something that I've been talking about for months, and we saw the seeds being planted. But just the way that everything was gone about on this week's episode to finally pull the trigger, it just really left me taking a step back and just saying, we really rushed that, didn't we? We just went on ahead and just, bam, just went there. Might as well get into it because, I mean, you know, this is probably going to be one of our shortest post shows we're doing here for NWA Powerrr here. But Austin Idol, Joe Galley, Velvet Sky, your commentators, Tim Storm. I got a bone to pick with NWA about this one, too. if I'd have known, and if fans would have known that we were going to be seeing Tim Storm in the main event match for this week's NWA Powerrr, definitely would have made all the sense in the world to have Joe Galli and them say to us, Tim Storm isn't there at commentating because he's preparing for a match for later on in the night. As far as I know, I did not hear that. I did not hear that. So for those of you that got your Fight TV subscriptions and you check out NWA Powerrr, let me know if maybe you heard something I didn't, because I honestly was not multitasking tonight while I had Powerrr on. I was kicking back, relaxing, and checking it out, and I did not hear anything about Tim Storm. Bringing that up for a very, very valid reason. As your main event match of the night, we saw Tim Storm teaming up with Nick Aldis to take on the team of Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer. And just the way this match just all of a sudden, I mean, you're thinking about the last episode of NWA Powerrr that we got from last week, and you're going, well, wait a minute. We saw Nick Aldis come to the aid there of Tim Storm. We did see that go down, and Tim Storm's kind of looking like, what the hell? What are you doing out here? I don't quite understand this. And he was trying to have Adonis and Latimer back off from attacking Tim Storm. Now, what I'm trying to understand, unless some stuff had went down on social media that I don't know about that pretty much strung everything along to get to the point of where we were at for this week's episode, doesn't really make sense how we just went from that episode and then we just wham, just go right into this week's episode where we got that main event match. So look, I mean, we kind of have to look at this half empty, half full, because we know all these shows that we've been getting from NWA these past several weeks, they pretty much taped all these bad boys while they were out there at St. Louis and everything. And obviously when they get ready to go into their next pay-per-view by any means necessary on October 24th, probably going to most likely give us a new batch of NWA shows that's going to be coming from out of that and all that. But I like paying attention to that fine little thing called detail and making sure we string everything together and everything is very concise. Everything makes a lot of sense. Now, some of you guys may be hearing this right now, especially if you're checking out NWA. You may be saying, yeah, it did seem a little bit off right here. Well, Lee, looking back in retrospect, what would you have done a little bit differently to kind of get us to the point of where we were at tonight with that main event match? It's simple. I think you should have done it from a standpoint of having Latimer and Adonis talk mad trash about Tim Storm and, you know, a couple of other folks, and maybe a challenge gets put out there to Tim Storm. Okay, tell you what, won't you go find yourself a tag partner, if you could find anybody, somebody that will, you know, gladly pair up with you. I don't really think you truly have that many allies, Tim Storm. You might think you do, but you'd be surprised. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, find yourself a little tag partner, whoever you could find, and we'll meet you in the main event match. And if it would have been a case that way, then you pretty much are going with Nick Aldis, right? I think that would have probably been a little bit better. Yeah, I think that probably would have made a little bit more sense, but we got what we got, you know, so we pretty much had to deal with it and everything. But yeah, it just felt so forced. It felt so random, despite the fact of what we had last saw from last week's episode and everything. Great tag team main event match, team of Tim Storm and Nick Aldis picking up the dub. Look, I love the story that was being told during this match too, because when Latimer and Adonis had the referee distracted, they were doing all types of shenanigans in their corner. And just, I mean, if the ref would have seen a lot of this stuff that the guys were doing, he probably would have went on ahead and DQ'd them and just gave the dub to Storm and Aldis. You feel me? But yeah, that's how serious the shenanigans were they were doing in the corner every time they were able to distract the referee and all that. And pretty much, look, when it's all said and done, look who they learned it from. They learned from the very best. Nick Aldis was pretty much the king of this, the king of distracting the referee and running roughshod and all of that good stuff. So to essentially have Nick Aldis, okay, says that's the game that we're gonna play. Okay, all right, I'll beat you guys at your own game. I'll show you how it's done, and he pretty much did. You know, he used some shenanigans to help him and Storm pick up the dub. Latimer was a bit salty about that post match. Aldis wanting to shake the hand of Latimer. Latimer reluctantly shakes it, and you're kind of going, okay, all right, cool. There's a little bit of brotherhood going on here. Yeah, these guys, they've been through a lot. Okay, cool. Tim Storm gets thrown into the mix courtesy of Aldis. Aldis wanting for Latimer to shake the hand of Tim Storm, pretty much let bygones be bygones. So you're seeing a nice, really awesome moment right here when all of a sudden Chris Adonis comes from behind, low blows the hell out of Tim Storm. At this point, Aldis had already walked away. He was looking in the direction of the crowd. He turns around to see what had happened. He's questioning what the hell, what's going on here. Next thing you know, Latimer from behind, low blow to Aldis. And from there, a beatdown on both guys. Gets even better here, folks. We see our boy Nick Aldis get not one pile driver, not two pile driver. He gets three, count them, three pile drivers in the middle of the ring. The last one, I mean, look, all of them were devastating, but the one that you really got to home in on the most that was just, ooh, is the one that pretty much was him getting the pile driver, head connecting first with a steel chair that was in the ring there. And the way he sold that bad boy, I got to give Aldis a lot of freaking props because he sold it. He sold it like a mofo. I loved it. I love seeing just the visual, just everything. I loved it. Adding that nice touch of, oh man, this is so serious. Seeing Mickey James come out there and everything, that was a nice touch as well. Just seeing his former Strictly Business members continue to just beat the holy crap out of him. You're looking at this and you're going, okay, well, especially you've been checking out our NWA shows for the longest time. You guys know this is something that I've been talking about for a few months now. And okay, so now we're finally here. Yet if you kind of picked a little bit up in the tone of my voice earlier at the start, you may have picked up a little bit of disappointment. Some of you guys may be saying, yeah, that is the case, Lee. So, yeah, why are you a little bit disappointed here, man? You were saying about this for months now. This is where we were going to go. So, what's up, man? What didn't you like about the finish line? It just felt so rushed, honestly. It really did. It just felt so damn rushed. And I don't know if this was by design in order to really go into that next pay-per-view and just pretty much spawn your next batch of weeks of NWA programming as a result or what. But it just seems as though we were on this nice pace, planting the great seeds and all of that, and just all of a sudden just you turn on your TV one day and wham. If I were to use a really good analogy, it's almost like just think of your favorite TV show that's out there, whether it was from previous years or something that's current right now. And just think about your favorite character from that TV series. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that character reveals that they're dying. And that basically, you know, they've gotten the diagnosis. They're going to be dead at some point. It might take a year. It may take 3 years. Hell, it could be 5 years, but time's a ticking. They got the diagnosis and they don't have that much time to live, right? So you hear that, and then basically 2 episodes later, that character is dead. That's pretty much how I have felt with this week's NWA Powerrr, right? All the great seeds that were planted along the way, and now we just, bam, we're just going to go there. Yeah, so for me, it was definitely in a haste, I personally felt. But despite that, I'm still very intrigued. And now more than ever, I want to know why. Why did Tom Latimer and Chris Adonis do what they did to Nick Aldis? going back to what I had said a few weeks ago, is this a case right here where they are essentially showing him tough love and basically are saying, you know what, man, losing that NWA World Heavyweight Championship and then afterwards going on this sorry, lame ass apology tour, acting like you've seen the light and all of a sudden you're holier than thou and you've seen the error of your ways, you're soft. You got soft, Nick Aldis, and that's not what Strictly Business is about. So what we made was an executive decision. We wanted you out, right? Is it like that type of thing that's going on here? Is that what's going on here? Or is this a case where, now you know what? When you were the world heavyweight champion, you had all the bargaining power. And now that you no longer have the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, we really don't have to abide by your silly little rules, your code of conduct. Is it the latter? So there's a nice little interesting that's going on here as far as why the guys did what they did to Nick Aldis. So I can't wait to see how that's going to continue to play out on future episodes of NWA programming. But I will tell you another thing that I liked about this as well, despite the fact that for me, at least for me, it was done in haste. I like the fact that now we have pretty much elevated Tom Latimer, because the way that everything was just done, when you really take a step back and think about it, I love the fact that it kind of gives me almost a DX vibe, if you will. Could you just imagine what would have happened had Shawn Michaels not lost his smile? And if he just would have continued to just stay at it there in the WWF back in the day, you almost just kind of get the vibe that, maybe ultimately something would have came about where maybe Shawn would have been, he wouldn't have gotten a gracious exit from DX. Maybe there would have been some type of struggle from within, and ultimately he gets that executive decision to be thrown out, kind of like what we had got tonight. And please don't take what I'm saying out of context. I'm not saying that Strictly Business is like DX, because I know how you guys are with your old school wrestling, especially the Attitude Era. I'm just mentioning the parallels there. I'm just a point of reference. You guys get exactly what I'm talking about. So I like the fact that Thomas Latimer, the elevation that has been given to his character, because he's got a great look. He's got all the capabilities in the world of being one of the top main heels there for the NWA brand, as well as Chris Adonis. Can't be sleeping on Chris Adonis either. So the fact that we've got Tom Latimer, for all intents and purposes, it kind of comes off as if maybe he is the new head honcho. He's the new leader here for Strictly Business. I love that. And the fact that you've got Camille in the mix here as well, that creates another nice little element that we got going on here. So you just would imagine that there's going to be a serious receipt that's going to be cashed in once Nick Aldis gets back up to 100%. And maybe by the any means necessary pay-per-view, maybe we'll see Nick Aldis, Tim Storm get back on that saddle again, and maybe have some type of a fight with them. Who knows? But I love I love how everything had played out. All things considered, I do love how things had played out. I'm very intrigued at the idea of a babyface Nick Aldis, because very seldom have we gotten a babyface Nick Aldis that actually works, that legit actually works. Very organic. It just flows so well. You feel where I'm coming from? So I got to give kudos. Just don't like the haste, but I got to give kudos where kudos needs to be given, considering all things, right? So that was that. Another interesting point of interest for this week's NWA Powerrr, another tough love session that Kratos was given to Aaron Stevens. Once again, following up on the brotherhood comments he made a couple of weeks ago, if not last week, definitely a couple of weeks ago. And he really, really grilled it in home. I mean, he went there with Aaron Stevens this week, telling him he needs to go to a deep, dark place. He needs to go and find that killer that's inside of him, and lets him know straight up. This was some tough love that Kratos was giving to Aaron Stevens. Tell him straight up, look, I'm not the one that lost the tag titles. You are. You got to own that. You got to take self-accountability. But let's take this a step further. You're an international superstar, but let's be honest, no matter where you worked, you never fitted in. You never been accepted. You never even were accepted by your own father. I mean, so really going below the belt right here. There's bringing up some very valid points, and then there's going below the belt and kind of coming off a little bit as though you're embarrassing a person publicly, and I like the fact that for all the shenanigans, for all the tough talk that Austin Idol puts out there on a weekly basis, it was actually kind of refreshing to hear Austin Idol at commentating even say, not led on or anything, just willingly say, okay, there's tough talk and then there's embarrassing, and yeah, nah, what he did was embarrass Aaron Stevens just now. So to hear Austin Idol put that out there, you're going, well, damn. Even as black as a soul that Austin Idol may come off having, even he has his freaking, yeah, dog, you kind of hit a touching nerve point right there. Yeah, that's a little too low, even for me, right? That says a lot. That says a lot when you got Austin Idol jumping out there like that. But Kratos digging down into Aaron Stevens, telling him straight up, you got to find that killer inside you, because you got to figure out a way to bring peace within the chaos. And this NWA, look, it's a circus. You need to come sit with me at the Lion's table. And he pretty much just left him standing at the altar once again. So what's going to happen here with Aaron Stevens? Obviously the seeds that's been planted here these past couple of weeks, we know what the payoff is ultimately going to be. The only question is Aaron Stevens going to be able to harbor this dark chaos that's inside him? Is he going to be able to really, once he lets this out, is he going to be able to control it? And in fact, by controlling it, will he and Kratos be able to reclaim their tag titles? Or is Kratos getting ready to set something off here that honestly is going to explode in his face? We'll have to wait and see how all of that plays out. Matches of the night. There was a NWA Lucha Scramble. It's a triple threat joint. La Rebellion defeated the El Begotten, Marche Rocket, and Slice Boogie. Nice little opener for this week's NWA Powerrr. Nice little matchup that we had there. There was also an interview with the NWA World Champion Trevor Murdoch. He commented on what all had went down with Jax Dane from last week. And he told him straight up, look, trying to cash in that championship while I was injured, and for it to just blow up in your face, that was a bitch move what you did. But I'm right here, willing to take in all challengers. Just bring it. Anytime you're ready, just bring it. That pretty much was his message. Pope showed up. Of course, the question that's been asked pretty much every single time, when is Pope cashing in his championship opportunity? We finally had got some breaking news here. Pope revealed that on next week's NWA, he will reveal when he's going to be cashing in his championship series opportunity. So that's pretty badass to hear. Of course, we go back to commentating. Velvet Sky is asked when she's going to be cashing in her championship opportunity. Is it going to be a case where she's going to be going after the NWA Women's Championship, or is she maybe going to find herself a tag partner and she's going to go after the tag titles? And she pretty much just said never say never. Austin Idol picking on her about all of that once again. Look, if you were to ask me straight up, what would I like to see happen with Velvet Sky as far as which championship I personally would like to see her go for, if you just want to pick my brain, I personally would love to see Velvet Sky go for the NWA tag titles. And I would love to see her do it with none other than Angelina Love. I would love to see the beautiful people reunite. I would love to see them do it in the NWA. I mean, look, say what you will, but the beautiful people, all these years later, they still, that says a lot, especially given the fact that the girls still practically look the same as we remember them, from some years back. I mean, look, not for nothing, they're not old, okay? They're not old. They're still, both of them, they're still young, basically, okay? And they still look just like how we remember them 5-10 years ago. Their name still sells. They still have that following no matter where they go. Anytime they're doing, whether it's virtual signings, autograph signings, there's still fans and everything. I think you would be a fool to not capitalize on the beautiful people. So if you're asking me straight up, what would I like to see happen with that cash in? There you go. I'm not quite there on a NWA Women's Championship run. I'm not there. I just feel it would be, it'd be cool for that one joint, but it would just, to me, feel like a throwaway. Especially if it's Camille that's still the champion. That's the other thing that you got to remember, too. I don't have Camille losing that championship no time soon. So we'll see. We'll see what comes about with that, but that's my wishful thinking on that one. The Cowboy James Storm defeated Judas. Short, sweet, simple matchup. Beat his ass cleanly in the middle of the ring with a super kick. I'm just kind of looking at that and I'm just going, okay, kind of got a bone to pick here, because didn't we do at NWA 73, didn't we do some type of a match where somebody was maybe going to get a future shot at a championship or something along those lines? I could have sworn there was something that came about with the match. And I remember saying, oh, yeah, JTG. Surely JTG will get this. And if you guys can actually bear with me a second, I'll actually tell you guys exactly the match that I'm thinking about that Judas actually won, because I'm looking at the NWA 73 card right now. And yeah, Judas had won a battle royale to determine the #1 contender to the NWA National Championship. Yeah, so it was for the National Championship. I mean, I just don't get that, right? So we have this guy in Judas, great manager there with the Sinister Minister, the Father James Mitchell. So we got all of this stuff that we're doing with him. Look, I can put to the side for a moment that the Judas character, it's just not working for me. It's not clicking. I'm not finding anything cool about it, right? I can put all that to the side and just deal with the facts and just deal with the way the Judas character has been booked so far since we've seen him, especially riding high off of NWA 73. So we're doing all of this stuff with the Judas character. And then we just have him cleanly lose to the Cowboy James Storm on this week's NWA Powerrr. That just kind of leaves me a little bit baffled. I know I give the Judas character, some crap. I know I do, right? Because it's not clicking for me. I know I do. But even I got to put that to the side and go, wait a minute here. What the hell, right? So I'm very curious to see, okay, did we do this to essentially help further along the feud here between Judas and the Cowboy? Is that what we're doing right here? Because if so, how are we going to up the ante? I'm very curious to see how they're going to up the ante even more between these guys. So, yeah, but that just kind of really left me scratching my head a little bit there. If you maybe wanted to have the Cowboy James Storm win, but maybe have there be a little bit of controversy in the whole mix, I probably would have been okay with that, since there was kind of a recurring theme going on within recent weeks. The same ref that was at NWA 73 was the same ref that essentially had caused James Storm to, not get a dub on Jedias a couple of weeks ago, right? This week we got a whole new referee. Remember that. We got a whole new referee this week. The referee that was involved the last two joints, he was involved in the main event match. So that's just my wishful thinking. To each its own, but that's just my my 2 cents on that from a distance. Kylie Ray defeated Allison Kay, Lady Frost in a triple threat match. Kylie Ray defeating Lady Frost. I thought that was rather smart. I like the fact that they pretty much had protected the NWA Women's Champion there, Tag Champion there. I thought that was pretty smart in what they did there by not having Allison Kay be the one to, eat the submission or the pinfall. I thought that was rather smart, especially given the fact that Allison Kay and Marty Bell, they're going to be defending those tag titles pretty soon coming up at the By Any Means Necessary pay-per-view. So kind of smart move right there. Mims, Sarinaro, Hawks, they were giving their thoughts about their upcoming tag match in the finals there. They got interrupted by Tyrus, Jordan Clearwater, Black G's. Tyrus addressing some of the things that's been said throughout social media on his recent championship defenses, that they're flugazis, nothing but flugazis. So to kind of squash all of that, he's going to give a title match opportunity to one Jordan Clearwater, because he feels that is somebody that goes above and beyond, always puts in 125%. And if anyone is going to beat him for his TV title, hey, at least it's still going to be within the family. Can you smell that? I smell it, and it's very strong. It smells like straight up bullshit. Yeah, definitely. Tyrus having fun with the crowd too, by the way. I did enjoy that. That did give me a couple of chuckles. I love how he wasn't really feeling the crowd, and he said to them, wait a minute, I thought this was supposed to be a red state. What's wrong with you people? And they're just coming at him with even more boos, and he's like, go save a dolphin or something. He literally says to them, go save a dolphin or something. Hilarious. And he also told them to go keep watching CNN. Loved it. Tyrus just egging them on. Good shit right there. Let's see. Other than that, wow, is that it? Yeah, that's it. That pretty much was it for this week's NWA Powerrr. Episode ran about 55 minutes. All said and done, we got about 3 matches, but this was really all about setting the table up there for Nick Aldis being betrayed by the Strictly Business members, beaten up so bad he's put on a stretcher. You just can't help but wonder what's going to be the ramifications of this, if at all. If Billy Corgan, I mean, you're just kind of following the way things have been with NWA. And usually when something of this magnitude happens, usually Billy Corgan's storyline comes out and he's finding people left and right. There's a couple of suspensions and all of that stuff. So, and then the other thing that we got to remember too is, despite the fact that Nick Aldis no longer has the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, he is still one of the forces, behind NWA. That's been mentioned many times, in front of the cameras and all of that. So you just can't help but wonder what ramifications from what Strictly Business had did is going to be in store for them, if at all, right? Because remember, here's something else that you got to think about too. You think about all of that bad blood history that was going on there with Nick Aldis and Billy Corgan. Is this going to be a case where Billy Corgan is, going to let it slide because, okay, well, it's nice to see that Nick Aldis finally gets it stuck to him one good time, right? So there's a lot of layers that need to be not only peeled off, but fine tuned a little bit to figure out, okay, where exactly are we going to go here with this? Because this is the same Billy Corgan in storyline. Remember, several months back, when Strictly Business did not pop up on one episode of NWA Powerrr, they were scheduled to appear. I think some of them were in action, and they didn't appear. In storyline, Billy Corgan had fined all of them, if you guys recall. So, you would like to think that there's going to be some type of ramifications that's going to come from this. Another bone I got to pick NWA about with this week's episode as well. So we do this thing with Nick Aldis getting his beat down. And the very last image that you see of him is pretty much him on a stretcher. And we've got Joe Galli. Shout out to Joe Galli. Joe Galli did a phenomenal job selling hell out of the whole beatdown. Everything. It was nice hearing him curse because he's kind of like Tom Brady. He's like G. Willikers. Oh, gosh. He's kind of like one of those type of guys. And that's cool. But when he's using the profanity, you're really just, oh, man, yeah, something bad's going down. Oh, man, you're really getting into it when Joe Galli is cursing because, he normally don't curse on NWA programming. So, Joe Galli, I thought all of that was fine. Joe Galli and the rest of the commentating team, they should have been given better cues at the end from this standpoint, though. Last image you see is Nick Aldis on the stretcher. He's being rolled out, and you got Joe Galli saying, well, folks, that's it for this week's episode. We'll see you next Tuesday. It's like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. The very last thing you should be saying is, I can't believe in all my time of covering the NWA to see the despicable, heinous act that was displayed on our former NWA World Heavyweight Champion there in Nick Aldis. I'm speechless. I'm at a loss for words. Velvet, you got to help me out here. You got anything you can say? And then once Velvet tries to say a little something, Galli can just go, folks, I so hate to do this. Really, I do. I wish we could just stay right here. But given how things are right now, we're just going to go on ahead. And, as far as we know, that's it for matches for this week. Obviously, you guys want to know what's going on with the current health status of Nick Aldis, we would encourage you to stay connected on social media, visit our website, and we'll have any breaking news information as soon as it becomes available. But, we're so sorry. We got to go. Or you don't even have them say anything. Just, they've said enough talking. We see Aldis is on the stretcher and all that. You could just let that sell in itself and then just end the episode just like that. Decent episode this week. Decent episode. Not fantastic. Not superb. Definitely not bad. Decent episode when it's all said and done. So check it out. It was weird because I had a couple of people that were asking me, how can I check out NWA? Fight TV subscription. Pay like about $5 a month. That's how you're able to check it out. $5 a month. So that's it. No NWA news. Everything is all nice and quiet still. We're getting little driplets of information as far as this By Any Means pay-per-view. We've only seen like maybe 1 or 2 matches that's been announced so far, and this pay-per-view is happening on October 24th. So trust me, as we get a lot closer, we'll definitely talk more and more about that pay-per-view. Quick program and notes for you guys, though. This Wednesday, no new RCWR show. We are pretty much going to be done for the rest of the week. The next episode, well, for Patreon members, we're definitely going to be doing some Patreon content this weekend. So patreon.com/RCWR show. But other than that, Your next edition of the RCWR show is going to be coming at you guys on Monday night, October the 11th, after WWE Raw goes off the air. I do want to give you guys one piece of news, though. I'm hearing some buzz that the WOW Women of Wrestling promotion is getting ready to make some type of an announcement this week. Supposedly, they're going to be announcing the relaunch of the promotion. I'm hearing that, more specifically, this Wednesday is when they're probably going to be making some type of a press release. There's going to be maybe some type of a press conference, something along those lines. So if something in regards to WOW does break out, whether it be on Wednesday or it breaks this week, definitely stay connected to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/the RCWR show. And I will definitely not only share the news with you guys, I will definitely react to the news as well. Because remember, we had covered the last season of WOW. We had phenomenal interviews with some of the folks over there as well. And you guys that checked out a lot of that stuff, you know how near and dear the WOW Women of Wrestling promotion is to my heart. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. But by all accounts, sounds as though something is supposed to be breaking this week, more specifically Wednesday. So we'll see. We'll see. In the past, you know, we have been kind of teased that there's going to be some type of a news, and then nothing has materialized. So hopefully we're actually going to be getting something, and it's not just, you know, it's not just hot air, basically, right? So we'll see. Stay connected to me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. And remember to hit those likes. The more likes that we get, the better. It really helps as far as channel recommendations and all of that. Believe it or not, even the dislikes help as well, because engagement is engagement. So they pay attention to stuff like that. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. Until next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Peace.